Attention bobsled riders! You will soon be embarking on a thrilling podcast down the icy slopes of the Matterhorn, so please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet and legs inside the bobsled at all times. Auf Wiedersehen!
Welcome back, Yodelers! We are the Matterhorn Yodelers. I'm your host, Jackie, and we have
Peter
and
Jason.
And it is fall, Halloween time. It's time to get your pumpkin spice drink, your warm, cozy sweaters, even if it's 100 degrees out.
I don't think you could ever go to a Disney park and wear a scarf in the fall. It's just not cold enough. Even in LA.
Yeah.
Florida.
LA or Florida, yeah.
Next the scarf. Don't wear it.
I know,
Don't be that person.
It's funny because I was talking to my wife because we were planning a trip to Disney World next year. And she's all like, because we were talking about options, like, yeah, they got the water park, we've got pools and things like that. And she's all like, is it going to be too cold? And I'm like, in Florida,
Probably not.
no.
I probably wouldn't go swimming in October. I would probably be. I mean, it just depends on the day.
Yeah.
And, yeah, Florida is interesting with their weather. It could be
Yes.
cold, it could be hot, but...
I mean, in California, we went, 3 or 4 years ago, and they had those fires, and it was like 100 degrees, like, late October. I remember just like, it's so hot here. Why? It's hotter here than it is where we're from. This is not fair.
But you know what? Still wear your Ugg boots. Still drink your pumpkin spice lattes because it's Halloween time at Disney. It's probably one of the most favorite time of years that gets gone. October used to be like the prime time to go to a
It
Disney
was the
park.
secret time where you're like, shh, no one goes.
No one goes.
Everyone's at school.
But then Disney, full force.
It's the internet ruined it.
Internet ruined it, and then Disney doubled down on Halloween.
Yes.
Yeah. It used to be like 2 days they had a Halloween party.
Yes, and now it's like, now they do Halloween parties starting in August.
Yeah.
So, it's October and Halloween time. They are decked out in decorations. I love the fall decorations. Like, in Disney World, you've got, like, the scarecrows dressed up and little...
The Mickey scarecrows, you have the
Yes.
pumpkins along Main Street.
Yes, with the fall leaves
I love
around
the window decorations on Main Street.
What do they do for the decorations?
They're all like fall and Halloween themed.
it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, every
I knew
holiday they change the window decorations.
Like whether it be 4th
yeah.
of July, Christmas, spring, like they literally changed those
Yeah, they
windows displays out.
They did a one day at Disney
Yes, they did.
with the person who does it.
Oh,
So,
I gotta catch that episode.
catch that episode. It's really good. Yeah, so it's got that decorative feeling all around. And, you know, Haunted Mansion at Disneyland is changed to
Yes.
Nightmare Before Christmas, where, like, Nightmare Before Christmas is now a Halloween Christmas
Overlay.
overlay.
So, quick poll. Like it, don't like it.
Love it. I love it more
You
than
love
Haunted
it?
Mansion.
Blasphemy.
I like it, but I think it goes on too long.
Okay. I don't like it, but I don't like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Like I think an appropriate time period would be maybe mid-October to December. But now they have it opening up in August, and it's just
They
like
do it in August
they do
now?
it in August
Yes.
now. So you only get regular Haunted Mansion for half the year.
That's garbage. Garbage.
At Disneyland.
At Disneyland, Haunted Mansion at Disney World,
They do not.
they do not do anything.
Because when I was there, the guy who was in charge of Magic Kingdom, he was there opening day working at Haunted Mansion. And he was like, we were not doing overlays here.
Nope.
And he's like, no, because we have new people coming to Disney World, experiencing Disney for the first time.
Yeah.
Where they don't need an overlay of
It's-
something that they'd have never seen.
It's true. Disneyland is more of a pass holder park.
It's a locals
lot
park.
of locals go to it. Disney World, a lot of international individuals go to it. Lots of East
A
Coast.
lot of, yeah, it's like
A lot
a
of
once in a
Europeans.
lifetime sort of trip. And so to overlay an attraction, especially a classic Disney attraction, would definitely hinder a lot of people's opinions because they would just be like, I want to see classic.
Yeah. You get a lot of people from like England. When I was over there, like
Yes.
vacationing, they're like, "Oh, we're from all the U.S." Like, "Oh, I went to Florida," and I was like, "Did you go to Disney World?" Oh yeah, everybody went to Disney
And
World.
people from most people that are coming from England are there for 2 weeks at least.
Oh, yeah.
Staying on property.
Well, when you travel to the other side of the world,
Oh yes.
you don't. It's not a short trip. You have to make it long because it's
Yes.
otherwise you're just gonna be jet lagged the entire time.
Right.
It always took me like a week.
It's
to get
about a
over the jet lag.
Yes, it's about a week when you travel that much.
But I don't know. I love Halloween at Disney. I love
It's
the
fun.
feel of it. They always have special treats, like obviously everything pumpkin, but they always have like Nightmare Before Christmas, like overlays on desserts, and like coffins on like brownies, and it's like Sally. And they also have like different meet and greets with characters, like you can meet like Jack and Sally in the day.
Jack, meet and greet. Are you guys freaked out like he's like some like gray alien? Like every time I see him, like can never get his character right. It looks horrible. Sorry, I'm like poo-pooing on everything, but like that's the one where like really that's the closest you can get with Jack.
It's difficult doing a skeleton head.
Yes.
That's for sure.
And they have him talking, and it's like this is weird. I don't like this.
Yeah.
He's got a chin, and he's like, well, I can't. That's just, it's Sally's great. Jack's like, oh gosh, just put the head on and just leave it.
But I would say that meet and greet's probably the most popular meet and greet around Halloween
You know
time.
what would be? Ichabod Crane.
Yeah.
That would be a fun one to see, where you just see him eating pies.
But, yeah.
He's just like randomly at different restaurants.
Just
like,
eat, comes by and eats your pie, and you're like, oh, there goes Ichabod.
I paid $30 for that pie.
Oh, tips his hat and his little tri-tip hat. Oh, there we go.
So what other things would you want to like see more of Halloween at a Disney park?
Well, one thing that they've been doing recently are the Dapper Dans are now what are they called now?
Oh.
They are rethemed and they're more
Dreadful Davids.
I forget what they're called.
So what do
now.
they do?
But they just sing Halloween songs.
Oh, fun.
But they're dressed up in like they're like kind of like what the Haunted Mansion cast members wear for the Halloween party.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of like the skeleton makeup, and so they just sing Halloween tunes. And at Disneyland, and I think even at Magic Kingdom, they're just like on one of the rafts that go around the island, the Tom Sawyer Island,
Yeah.
or Pirate's Lair Island, and they just kind of they're mic'd up, and so they're just kind of floating out there singing Halloween music and
Cadaver dance.
Cadaver dance.
Have that cadaver dance.
Cadaver dance, yes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun. Like when they introduced that was kind of a fun addition that I've enjoyed footage of. Yet I haven't seen in person, but the footage of it's cool.
But I do have to say, like you were saying, like Disney has changed how they've approached Halloween in the parks. Because we used to go in like the early 2000s, regularly in October.
Always in October.
Always
October.
October.
And
It was empty.
it was empty, cooler, but not
Yes.
too cold.
Yes.
And it was just fun. And like the theming wasn't there. And then when we worked there, I was like, oh, wow, they're stepping it up. And then I went again, like within the last 3 years. It was, I mean, it's like Christmas. They set it up just for that.
It's
Yes.
Universal. Universal was the reason why that started happening, because that's when Universal started doing their Halloween Horror Nights,
It was a
which
big deal.
became crazy big deal. And
Very
so
big.
Disney's like, how can we cash in on it? We can't really do too scary. And that's when they came out with Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
Yeah, and so Disney does a Halloween party at Disney World and at Disneyland.
Now at Disneyland, they didn't do that for a while. at
Not for a
Disneyland.
while, just because they weren't sure how well it would do.
They did do it when we were growing up. They had it. It was only a couple nights. They were trying to Because I remember us
was
going,
very
like, we had a plan, we're like, well, they're doing the party, okay, let's go to California Adventure because
Yeah.
half our day is gone from doing that.
Yeah, and yeah, so at Disney World, I would say that was like before, because my opinion has changed.
How so?
So, you would say Disney World, Disneyland, which Halloween party is better? And most people would say Disney World, because it's got the Boo to You parade.
They don't have that at Disneyland?
No, it's different.
But,
That parade is bomb.
right, so at Disney World, it's a Halloween party. It usually starts about 6 o'clock.
Yep. That's
At-
when they start.
Yeah,
letting the
6
guests out.
o'clock, but usually if you buy, and the Disney Halloween party is a separate ticket event. You have to pay extra for this event, and they will usually let you in about 4 o'clock.
4
So
o'clock so you
2
can walk in.
hours before the actual party starts, so it's kind of nice because you can maybe ride some rides, meet some characters, eat some food before
Well,
the party starts.
Even if like you want to just ride rides, Halloween party is a perfect opportunity to, because nobody's in line for the rides.
It's
true.
true. Most of the individuals that go to the Halloween party are there for
The events.
the events and the meet and greets, and a lot of them are pass holders or locals that they've done all the rides, so it's not a priority.
Yeah. You have people there that just want to be seen. They show off their cosplay.
People dress up.
Oh, yes, and that's another thing. So at the Disney Halloween parties, adults can dress up in costumes, which is great because Disney brings in, that family event, of being a kid again. And a lot of people go all into their costumes. I've seen,
Yeah.
People will make this like their year-long project of gathering their costume together.
And let's make a note. This is the only time where an adult guest can come into the park with a costume. Because if you try to do it outside of this party, they will meet you at the gate. Do you remember when we went in
For the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
and they met us as we were putting our tickets in? They spotted us. They were watching us as we were getting off the
Before we entered
monorail.
the park, yeah.
Before we get into the park, they will find you. I remember there was a lady who wore a Snow White outfit. She went into she knew about the policy. She went into the bathroom, changed over, and she started walking around acting like Snow White. And yeah, you get some crazies out there. And security was on her within a couple minutes going, ma'am, you need to change back. This isn't appropriate. So this is the only time sane and insane people can wear a costume at the park. So let me put that out there. The only time.
And so these costumes are huge and beautiful. I would
Some
say
of them are, yeah.
Yes.
going to the park alone and just looking at all the
People watching.
costumes.
People watching is amazing during the Halloween
And
party.
they do a whole
Yes.
family coordination of a movie, and it's so fun to see that family dressing up together.
That was my favorite part of working those shifts in the park was looking at the costumes and oh, you guys did it. You guys knocked it out of the park. Just give them compliments, and even if their costume wasn't good, just they're proud of it, and it kind of was it was fun to see the joy.
Yep.
Everyone's happy.
Yes.
I rarely
Yes.
had an angry guest during that time period, and that was that was
well,
awesome.
when they're in the park.
Yeah,
I
I was
dealt
in
with
the park.
them
Outside.
outside.
Yeah, in the park, it was great. For once, no one's screaming at me about any privileges or they've been done wrong. If they were unhappy, I would just be here's a big giant bag of candy. Here you go. No one's monitoring how much I'm giving away. Here you go. And they're well, thanks.
And
I
that
got $3 worth of candy, and I'm super happy.
And that brings up another activity that you do at the Halloween party, which is trick-or-treating. Which, as an adult, you really don't trick-or-treat unless you're with your kid, maybe, but you don't personally get candy.
People look at you weird when you're 30 years old trick-or-treating by yourself. And they're like, where's your kid? And you're like, I don't have kids.
So,
That's when you come up with a story that he's in the hospital.
It seems like you've done this before.
No.
So, I mean, for me going as a guest to the Halloween party and trick-or-treating, it's fun. You know, of course I could just go to the store and buy a big bag of candy, but it's kind of fun just to get free candy.
And the candy's not horrible. You got like your Smartie type candies, and then you have like your Snickers and Reese's there. So that was like when I was
No
working
store
there-
brand.
No, yeah, no. No, it was.
Well, sometimes they lately have been getting sponsors, candy sponsors.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's cool. I didn't know that.
So, like, I remember, like, Craisins,
Oh, yeah.
sponsored.
That's right.
And
They
so
do
you
give
would
those.
get, like, chocolate-covered cranberries, which I loved, but yes.
Yeah, I remember there were different types of boxes. So, like, when I worked there, I worked the night shift because I was going to school at the time. And so I worked at the Haunted Mansion, and I did a shift there, and it was fine, but I didn't want to do it anymore because you had to put on the face makeup, and I didn't like that. So I started working the candy shifts, and I'd give away my shifts to the Haunted Mansion, which everyone loved me for. And I liked handing out the candy more because it was fun to see the guests happy. And I mean, how often do you get to give away hands full of like candy to people? And like
You are the cutest princess ever. Just
And they-
take it all.
they do, and they have boxes of candies, like just like I don't know, they're just huge boxes in the back ready to give away, and
Right.
there's really no
There's
accountability.
no limit, there's nothing.
They just almost like make sure there's plenty of candy.
Yeah.
Like, and I had a radio if we were running low on candy to go run to another part, but just it was well organized with their like candy, like making sure there was just enough, and that was the candy aspect. The guests should
It's
not be
great.
disappointed with what they get.
And then another activity you could do are meet and greets, and they do special meet and greets, different, characters that you don't normally see at the park, different villains.
So which villains did you see? Because I never saw any villains when I was there. I was more for like other things.
Like there's of course Jack and Sally, and then there's always like Mickey and the gang, all in their Halloween costumes,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
which are usually a little bit different every year, which is always fun.
Yeah, Minnie would have like a witch outfit. And
Yes.
Mickey would have like a nice like
Vampire.
vampire.
Yes.
That's the classic like,
Mickey
Halloween.
Vampire. Yep.
And then of course Winnie the Pooh characters dress up.
Yep. They
Oh
did.
yeah, that's
did.
super cute.
And then, of course, you can meet all the villains, Gaston, Cruella de Vil.
Which is very rare.
Yes.
These
Villain-
characters do not come out.
Usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Cruella de Vil is probably more common at Disneyland, but
Yes.
at Disney World,
No.
never.
Yeah, I remember seeing her and I was like, oh, she's good.
Well, that's the one thing that's nice about Disneyland. Disneyland, you see a lot more of the uncommon characters.
You see
wander
Don
around.
Kennard, and it's like the show has been off for like 12 years. You're like, boy, they pulled that one out of the storage. But Disneyland or Disney World,
Disney
no.
World, no. Like Disneyland, like you'll see like Fairy Godmother show up.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like Disney World, where it's Cinderella's castle, no. you
It
don't.
became more common when I was there. I
Oh,
saw
was it?
her. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, Fairy Godmother shows
Cinderella's
up now because a
castle's
new
right there.
But Maleficent will walk
Fantasyland.
around at Disneyland, and the Evil Queen.
Yep.
So like
And you can meet,
Disney
like,
World, it was
Hades.
not. Oh yeah, Hades. That's
You can meet Hades.
That's
You've
a
got
rare
the
one.
Voodoo Man, Oogie Boogie.
I remember Hook and Smee.
Yep, Hook and
I never saw
Smee.
Smee too often.
You'll meet like Aladdin and Abu, Jane and Tarzan,
I remember Jafar.
Hercules,
They had a Jafar meet and
Meg.
greet by the Aladdin carpets. And so, like, Jafar would, like,
Yes.
interact with the guests when they were on the ride. So that was kind of fun, you know.
So there's a lot of characters that you can meet that you normally don't. Disclaimer, those lines are very long.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like, you'll get in line for one character, and by the time you get to the front of that line, they've already switched out, like, 3 or 4 times different characters. So,
What?
yeah.
They're not the same character? What? There's only one character.
No.
No. Like, they
okay.
switch out the character.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
You know, like, it's not the same, you know, character, you know, like the same performer.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. What?
No, yeah. Like, you'll get in line, and it'll be like, all right, Jasmine, we're all going to get pictures with Jasmine. And then by the time you get up there, like, you'll be next in line and be like, all right, they're going backstage, and then Genie comes out, and they're
out.
like, I wanted Jasmine.
Yeah, they did that at Christmas. They have like Abu and Genie come out, and I was like, I've never seen. You don't see Abu very often.
No, Abu.
No.
Well, because Abu's life size. He's not a little tiny.
So, yeah, there's a ton of meet greets. The lines are long, so you kind of have to pick and choose what's a priority.
If you do characters and a show, you will not ride rides.
Nope.
It's just you have to pick between, and I always chose the rides and just walking
And I
around. Seeing
think
people.
now at Disney World they've kind of upped the rides during Halloween time.
Yes, at Disney World now, like, they will put
Like
live
live
pirates in Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, and then they'll have, like, Haunted Mansion characters outside of the Haunted Mansion.
They had that when I was there. They'd have like
Yes.
performers. They had people telling stories. They weren't characters inside there, but they were like ghoulish like characters. And at the Haunted Mansion, they'd have like the fog machine going, like serious
Yes.
fog machine, like industrial level, where like I remember working and just like coughing because it's just so much. Like it's something out of a movie. How much is coming out, and that's fun.
At the Halloween party, they bust a lot of fog.
Yes.
It's, the whole river of America is all fogged.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll have, like, I forgot the name
The
already.
Cadaver Dance?
Cadaver Dans on a float singing.
How
Yep.
fun.
And so it's just really cool themey, and they have like fun Halloween music. It's not like super creepy.
They play the same songs over and over. There's 6 songs where I was at in Adventureland. It was like, come sail away, and someone's watching me. It was just like 80s music. And so when you're standing there at the Swiss Family Treehouse,
Well,
just listen to the same 6 songs
I
over
remember
and over.
walking through Frontierland and they were playing the Headless Horseman song.
Oh, how fun.
And so I was all like, when I remember walking around, they played Swamp Fox.
Oh, wow.
Swamp Fox, Swamp Fox.
Yes.
No, I want to know where the Swamp Fox at. I was all like, whoa.
That's a throwback, right?
Yeah, I bet most of our audience doesn't know what the Swamp Fox is.
If you do, comment below. But other than attractions being a lot shorter times, a lot of the popular ones are usually like under 30 minutes.
Mansion's busier.
Mansion is always
because
busier.
it's the premier attraction of the event.
If you're going to the Halloween party, you will ride Haunted Mansion most likely.
Yes. And what's fun about being a Haunted Mansion is, like I mentioned earlier, all the guests, or all not the guests, the cast members, they get makeup done. All of them. And so it's coveted to get your makeup done. And it's done by a professional makeup artist. It's not like us like putting on Rambo style makeup. No, they come in and they give you a slot for 15 minutes and they put on the makeup, and it's tough. Stuck on there because I remember trying to take it off before I got on there, and it looked like I was in Apocalypse Now or something like that. It was just some Vietnam style makeup, but it's a hoot right there.
Yes.
It's like they said, it is the attraction to go visit. And the butlers are extra creepy to put cobwebs around them. It is the premier attraction.
That and maybe Pirates.
Yeah, I think they're pushing more on pirates to
We
draw
always suggested
people.
that to put on face makeup for them, make them more deathly looking, and kind of pull some people to that corner of the park.
Yeah, but I think one of the main reasons why people go to the Halloween party are the shows.
Yes.
So you've got,
Yes.
at Disney World, you've got the Boo to You Parade
It's great.
and the fireworks show, which is amazing.
Yes.
So, the Boo to You Parade has fun music.
So it comes in, you have the Headless Horseman riding their horse.
Which
Yes.
there's my favorite story. It's not one of our stories, but it's one of my favorite stories I've ever heard told about the Headless Horseman, where this little girl is watching the parade and she's asking her mom, like, Mom, why does that man not have a head? And a cast member leans in and says, a cast member leaned into the girl and says, that's what we do to people who steal. We
Oh die.
And so the little girl starts crying, and so the cast member's trying to console her, and the little girl's like, I don't want that to happen to mommy. That's one of my
Don't
favorite.
steal from Disney.
That's one of my favorite stories I've heard about the Headless Horseman on that parade.
Yeah, so the Headless Horseman is really cool to see.
Yes.
He's holding a pumpkin in his hand and on a black horse riding down Main Street.
You see like Pain and Panic on a float.
It's
and
fun.
what is it? The best is the Gravediggers.
The Haunted Mansion
The
float.
Haunted Mansion
They've got
grave
shovels
digger.
and they've got a choreographed scene and they smack it on the floor and they like slice that.
They got
that
sparks flying. It's the big. Honestly, it's the big wow of the parade.
it is.
The Haunted Mansion grave diggers on that parade.
But I've got a bone to pick with them.
Oh.
Because all of them are dancers and they're all in like good shape. They would wear the same costumes as a Haunted Mansion. During that time period, there were no costumes in my size because of those guys. Because every night they were taking them out and they were dancing and they're sweating in them. And so I get there and I'm always wearing like a suit that's like too small or too big. So hey, share some for us there. Us butlers need some good suit sizes, you guys. But
It was funny because I remember. Because, when I went, this is way back in my day, in 2006, I think the parade wasn't even that old. And so I remember, I watched the parade in Frontierland, and when the parade ended, I literally ran up to the front of the parade at Main Street and watched the same parade again. And then as soon as the parade ended, I ran right into the Emporium shop and I go, do you sell the music for the Boo to You parade? And they looked at me like, why would we sell that? And so after that event, I went home and I went through websites that I probably shouldn't have been going to, and
Peter went into the dark web.
I went to the dark web and found probably some of the best recordings of that parade music.
Off of a Japanese laser disc.
That's right. And even to the point where our dad, who's all about getting all that different Disney music, he listened to it and he goes, where did you get this? And he asked me to give him the link to where I got the website, and he's all like, oh, the website's down. And so I had gotten the Halloween music for the fireworks, the parade, as well as the Christmas music. And
rest assured, you don't have to do what Peter has
no,
done.
you don't have to.
It's available.
They sell it now.
Don't break the law.
They sell now. I think I was 10 years later. They decided to release it in an album form because I'm sure it was in high demand. But that's what I had to do back in my day.
It's fun. I actually had a friend that was in the parade, and they were listening to that over and over and over for their part. They were practicing, and so that song, as much as I heard it, I still like it. It's still good.
great song.
It makes me smile.
I am sad though they took my favorite part out.
Which part is that?
Now is the candy part.
Oh, yes.
Oh, candy. Oh my goodness, Mom was obsessed because of you saying that.
Yes, that was so. Back in my day, the parade ended with Goofy because he was kind of
He's
the
like the
face
Santa.
of candy for Disney.
Yes.
Yeah, the Goofy.
He was the face of candy, so they kind of dressed him up like a Willy Wonka character. And so they had the fun little verse for Boo to You about candy and stealing candy from your younger sibling, and it was so fun. And that's how they ended the parade. And now I forgot what they replaced it with, and it's not the same. So that's my gripe.
Yeah, so the parade is a must-do if
It's
you go to the
fun,
Halloween
especially with
party.
kids.
Yes.
They're going to be entertained.
It's one of the best
everyone's
parades
dressed up.
I've
You
ever
see
seen.
all the villains, and it's one of the top parades
And they
of
would-
Disney.
And they would do a cast member preview before they did the parties, and it was fun to go to that. So it's good if they keep bringing it back year after year after year.
And then after the parade, usually we'll have a fireworks show.
Yes, I think it's a different name now. When in my day it was called Hallow Wishes, Happy Hallow Wishes.
Or Hallowishes.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's just fun because one of my favorite parts is like they shoot like green fireworks like all around you, and it's just like the Haunted Mansion part.
It was fun. It was
Yes.
fun music. Absolutely. Great show. And they had dance parties.
Oh,
Yes,
The
dance
dance
parties
parties.
are
And Tomorrowland.
famous for Disney.
And the whole
At Disney World, especially.
Disney World.
Not
There's
so much at Disneyland, I don't
There's
think.
always a dance party at Disney World.
There's like 3 of them.
Yes.
They do. They have one in like
You can dance
The
with
Golden
Monsters
Horseshoe or something like
Inc.
that.
characters.
Yeah, you dance with the characters. That was always
They
one thing.
have like a
I
Descendants.
feel bad for them. Those were the bad shifts to get if you were a Disney character because you go out there for like 30 minutes and you dance your butt off in that big old costume. Like I feel bad for like Bullseye and like Woody and like Buzz Lightyear was in Tomorrowland, but they would be in like the Diamond Horseshoe or whatever at Disney World, and like they would have to dance. And I remember I had to go back stage and get the candy, and I would see them dancing. And I'm like, God have mercy on your soul, and I would just like walk out. Just like, all right, that was enough. Bye.
Yeah, so there's always dance parties, but the overall party at Disney World is great. I love it. I think it's worth the money to go.
It depends. From my research, because again, I haven't been to like parties since 2006, but I stay up with the Disney news and opinions, and so it's one of those things where it depends on how often you go. So if you've never
Yes.
done it,
It's worth it.
it's worth it. If you've gone
I recommend
multiple
wearing
times,
a costume that
Yeah,
first
that
time
helps.
because you really feel like you're part of everything.
Yeah,
if
because-
not, you're kind of just this like wanderer.
yeah.
Yes, when you're not wearing a costume, you kind of feel like, oh, I'm left out.
Yes, I get that feeling. We're like, oh, like people.
So if you've gone like every single year, it may seem stale.
Yes, because it doesn't change much at Disney
Not
World.
really.
I think they did recently. I think last year they updated it.
Yes.
And then obviously this year it's not happening.
Yes,
due to-
unfortunately, COVID ruined Halloween at Disney.
And what else have they ruined?
Ruined quite a bit.
A lot hasn't been. The dust hasn't settled on that.
So, hopefully next year there will be a Halloween party.
Yeah, here's hoping.
And then, of course, Disneyland, they've started a Halloween party. It used to be at the Disneyland Park, which I've attended, but last year they moved it to California Adventure.
Which was like, what?
Yeah, people didn't understand
They moved it because
Star Wars
of
Land
Star Wars Land,
was opening.
and so they didn't want that to. They didn't want to close Disneyland Park down for the special ticketed item because they knew people were coming for Star Wars Land, Galaxy's Edge.
But I also heard they were trying to push it over
to
they
DCA
wanted
because
DCA.
they wanted Disney's California Adventure to have more attendance. They wanted more appeal, and from what I saw, I think they did a spectacular job.
Did they?
Yes, but let's go back to Disneyland. And it's the overall Disneyland Halloween party is pretty similar to Disney World. You've got treat trails, special meet and greets, low attraction times. The shows are different.
Yeah, they have different fireworks.
The parade is, I would say, more focused on villains.
Yes, it's definitely far more
It's
villain
like March of
focused.
the Villains. or
Yes.
It is I would say it's a darker Disney parade.
Yes.
It doesn't have the same fun music. But it's still cool. If you love villains, it's a perfect parade for you. In the fireworks show, when it was at Disneyland, was different.
Yes, it's a little different. There are some parts that are the same. But for the most part, it's different.
But last year, it got moved over to California Adventure.
The Oogie Boogie Bash.
Oogie Boogie Bash,
Yes.
which I have not attended, but I have seen videos of it.
Looks spectacular.
It looks amazing.
Do they do like a World of Color kind of like show?
Yes. So, for shows, obviously they don't do fireworks show at California Adventure, but they do World of Color, they do the parade.
The parade is the same that was at Disneyland.
And they have trail treats that are interactive.
Yeah, so instead of
So somebody eats your candy for you?
so like instead of like meet and greets with a bunch of the villains, they put the villains as part of the treat trails.
Okay.
And they have
So
mics, and they'll be
They'll
talking
interact
to you.
with the guests
So you'll have like
as they walk by. And
I think Oogie Boogie last year was in the
Animation building.
Animation building, so they had all the screens, all Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's a good
feel.
character.
And they have the evil queen talking to guests.
Dr. Facilier, they had
Mhm.
Maleficent,
Good characters.
they had Ratcliffe
Yes.
from Pocahontas.
You
He
know,
was
he
there.
pops in once in a while. He
I
does.
saw that, I was like, oh wow, okay.
But I think like the big thing last year that was
yes.
huge, and I hope they do it again because I want to pay and experience it, is in the what is it called?
Redwood Creek Challenge.
Yes, which in the daytime it's just kind of like a giant playground for children
Yes.
to just run around, which is great for parents if you want to just sit.
But it's frowned upon if you're an adult.
Stay away from our kids!
Well, they have a ton of like rope climbing things, and it's not fun as an adult. But at night they turn it over. It's like
It's like Villains Grove or something.
yeah, it's called Villains Grove, and it's broken up in like different villain themes. They have lights everywhere.
So like you don't actually see any villains. It's
Yeah.
all lighting effects.
Yes, they have
And projection
projection and fog, and
It looks really cool.
it's probably from research I've done. They say it's probably the most magical thing Disney has ever done,
Yeah, like
and for the Halloween parties.
Oh, that's cool.
so yeah. Feel free, look it up. I think it's called Villains Grove.
Villains Grove.
It's crazy. Like
It's awesome to look at, even on video.
cool music, very eerie.
It's if you want spooky Halloween vibes, Villains Grove is it. Because other than that, Disney keeps it very light and fun. Disney Halloween, which I love. I love the light, fun, nothing bloody
Which
and gross.
you get more of that in Cars Land, because Cars Land is fully decked out in Halloween as well.
Is it like Red Asphalt, where they just show people's dead bodies, cars running over them? No?
No, the cars dress up in costumes.
Okay.
So you've got like a spider car.
That sounds really cool. Yeah, I was like downing. I was like, "Ooh, do you see it?" Ooh, well.
No,
And
I was like, wow, that sounds
I
better,
thought that
actually.
too, because I had experienced Halloween party at Disneyland and loved it.
Go ahead.
But when I heard the announcement they're going to California Adventure, I was like, I don't know how good this is going to be, but I will go.
Probably the premier thing, in my opinion, is the themed overlay for the Guardians of the Galaxy attraction.
Oh, we did do that.
Which is
That's all
not
fun.
just the Halloween party, but they do it
Outside.
outside on non-Halloween party nights just after a certain
I think it's
period of
after
time.
6 o'clock.
Yes, after 6 o'clock, which
So
is
much fun.
so fun. It's basically Screamo music, I would say.
No.
No, I would not say screamo music.
Oh.
I would just say like more of a heavy rock
Yes.
music. Nothing more than the Red Hot Chili Peppers overlay of
Yeah,
know.
so basically, it's an expansion on the story. So if you've ridden the ride before, it tells the story of Rocket getting his friends, the Guardians of the Galaxy, out of the Collector's Museum. Well, the Halloween overlay is the effects of what happened in that first storyline. So in the first storyline, they basically turned everything into chaos. They let all the monsters out, and so all the monsters are free, and so you're trying to escape again, but there's a lot more monsters and a little scary.
the drop sequence is different.
And
it's so much fun.
And the cast members are like freaking out because they're like, oh,
And they're looking for monsters.
they're looking for monsters. They're like,
That's right, they're walking around with
okay.
flashlights.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like the whole setting, like it's just flashing lights. So probably not best for those who are sensitive to
Yes, I agree. Mom, sit out on this one.
But yes, but you don't have to buy a ticket for the Halloween party to experience that in the month of October.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That's my favorite ride.
Yes.
During that, I love that overlay
So,
of that time period.
And you only get to experience that at night, not in the
Yes.
daytime.
Yes.
It's like after 6 o'clock, right?
Yes.
Yes. So definitely try to get that.
And those fast
Fast
passes
pass.
are quick. It's
Yes.
like weird. Like people are like gaming it. They're like watching. Okay, fast passes are 4:15, and then 5:55, and then boom, 6 o'clock hits, and it gets like they're gone.
They're gone. So keep an eye. Get those fast pass. It's worth it. And then of course the shows, the parade, right, which we talked about, and then World of Color, which is pretty similar to the normal World of Color, but it's just different scenes projected. So, alright, we'll wrap it up. As far as when they reopen the Halloween party, are you buying the ticket for the Halloween party? Are you skipping, just enjoying the fall atmosphere at Disney?
Or if you've been, let us know some memorable moments that you enjoyed from the Halloween parties that they've had.
Yeah. So, next episode, we are doing a movie review of Hocus Pocus. So, watch the movie before and
then join us.
And join us.
Or I'll put a spell on you.
Ooh.
Now you're mine.
Thanks for listening to us, and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Email us at matterhornyodlers@gmail.com. So,
And tell your friends.
tell your friends, share if they love Halloween and Disney. So, thanks for joining us, and have a spooky day.
Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of the Matterhorn Yodelers. Please remember, before your bobsled comes to a complete stop, to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And remember...
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.